This feels like the cheapest thing I've ever held in my entire life.
I was in Urban Outfitters the other day, and I saw they generally and have always had a big film selection. They always carried lithography products and Instax products, and I saw that they had some cheap cameras, some cheap film cameras, point and shoots on sale, and the prices weren't too bad. So I said, "Hey Lou,
Hi.
do you want to try out these cameras?"
Yeah.
So yeah, we went in Urban Outfitters. There are two cameras. I got this one, the Ansco Tegra Prestige 280S. Ansco is a pretty old brand, but I'm pretty sure that some company probably just bought the rights to the name and started branding these other things. Let me open this up and then we'll talk about the camera. So as you can see, this was the last one in the store, and that's why the box is so beat up. Didn't have very many options, but you can see the packaging is very, very minimal. They just have a white box, slap a sticker on the front. Tegra Prestige 280S. You have the camera. We got some instructions here. I could probably figure it out on my own. And then this is the camera. So I will say that it looks, on camera here, it looks pretty nice. You can see if I push this button, the lens pops open. This button up here on the front is to use the flash in the sun, I think to force it to flash. We have a little screen to tell us how many photos we have left. This is a little panoramic thing. All it does is put a little mask to make quote-unquote panoramic photos. But I tend not to do that because you just lose part of the negative. We've got a self-timer button, which is pretty cool. We've got the film rewind button, and then this plus or minus button here. I don't know what this is for. Maybe exposure comp? Let's put some batteries in and check that out. So Lou was nice enough to bring a roll of film for me, so thank you. So we're gonna be shooting Fuji Xperia Extra 400, which is good because it's a very gloomy day, so we're gonna need the extra sensitivity. Pop that in.
Oh, is that an auto winder?
I think so. Whoa! Ooh. I don't think it wound though. Maybe it needs to go further. Ooh.
Sounded like it did something there.
Yeah, but I don't think it did. Yeah. Let me take another photo. Still not winding yet. All right, I think it's time to get the instructions out of the box and see what's going on. So it doesn't apparently have a DX. Wait, these are the instructions for your camera.
What?
Well, it's going well so far. One issue we've discovered so far, the reason it wasn't rolling up is that the little notches that catch the sprockets, they weren't catching the sprockets. And so Lou opened it up, and that's when we realized that it was basically his idea to push down on it and let it catch. So I think it's caught now. Let me take another photo and see if it advances to 1.
That didn't sound good.
No.
That sounded like a car stalling.
Oh my gosh.
I'm getting in close just to get the not sound.
Oh, now it's at 1.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that. It's at 1 now. The sound of the motor is not great, but we're gonna press on, persevere, because you guys want to see how good this camera is. So far, not looking great. The motor sounds like it's just gonna stop working at any time. So I've taken about 7 shots so far. Hey. Few observations. One, the camera actually feels pretty good in the hand. It doesn't have like a hand grip, but it feels relatively robust. A lot like a lot of the older point and shoot cameras. The second thing is that you can't turn off the flash. I think I mentioned that before, but man, it's not great for these shooting conditions. Lou's camera, you can turn off the flash, but we don't know what aperture or shutter speed it's at, so who knows how dark his photos are going to turn out. But third thing is that the camera is at 28 millimeters, and so it's pretty wide, which is great for some stuff, some of the cityscape stuff, but for street photography of people, you have to get really close. And especially with that flash, it's just not really, this is not a street photography camera. That being said, and we'll find this out once I have the photos developed and scanned, but this camera is probably gonna be pretty great for taking out with friends to go to bars or parties and that kind of stuff, but we'll see.
This is surprisingly fun.
Yeah.
There are instructions on the back in case you need to change the batteries. Take a few photos. Dazzle the crowds.
Okay. Wait. How do I open it?
That sounded much longer than the couple times.
Yeah, it really caught me off guard. I think I want to get this back to.
So when Lou took that photo, the noise it made was a lot longer than the noises it was making when I was taking photos. And then when I handed it back, I tried to take another photo, and the button's not working anymore. So I might have it rewind the film and just call it. We're at 18 photos, half of the roll. I hate to waste half of a roll, but if this isn't working, I don't want to waste the whole roll. We'll let it sit for a minute and try it again in like 10 minutes or so, and then decide what to do. I've made a decision. I'm just gonna rewind the roll, and hopefully that'll work. 18 photos out of a 36 exposure roll is not great, but at least I got 18 photos out of it. So I think in order to rewind, we just do this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's rewinding. We're trying. Oh. Okay, we're good. Listen to that motor. Ooh. Hold on. Let me just make sure that's. I think it was just the last little bit. Oh my God! Look at that. Luckily, it was just the last little bit, but man, it ate up that. Not great. Not great. I think that you can guess my answer to the question of whether or not I would recommend this camera. It's a definite no. No. There were so many problems. I mean, again, the camera might have gotten returned, and that's why I was having so many issues, but you don't want to run the risk. The good thing of buying it from Urban Outfitters, if for some reason you do decide to go buy this camera, is that you can just return it with no issues. But I would instead suggest going to your local thrift store, going to eBay, and trying to find a cheap point-and-shoot film camera there. There are plenty of them out in the world, and it's actually relatively easy to find one. A lot of them you can find for around $10 to $15 if you don't live in a big city like me and you have thrift stores around you. By the way, if you want me to do a video about how to search for film cameras at thrift stores, let me know. I have a lot of tips and tricks that I've accumulated over the years, so I think I can make a pretty good video about that. So if you want that, let me know in the card up above, and maybe I'll make it in the future. So looking at the photos weren't actually that bad. A lot of them were relatively sharp, and well exposed, especially considering it was a gloomy day and I couldn't turn the flash off. But they also had sort of a weird pink cast to the photos. And I'm attributing that to the lens. Yes, Fujifilm does have that pink cast sometimes, especially in their cheaper films. But I scan these myself, and I've gotten fairly good at scanning photos and adjusting them to look the way I want them to. And these, it was just very, very difficult to completely get rid of that pink cast. And so I'm going to attribute that to the lens in the camera, which is not necessarily a good thing. If you have to go buy a film point and shoot today and you're going to Urban Outfitters, don't buy this camera, but if you have to, I would recommend buying the one that Lou got. I won't spoil everything. You can look at the photos that he took by going to watch his video. You can click the link up there. Definitely go watch it. Lou was great, and he helped me film, and he came out and just went on this little adventure with me after I asked him. So thanks, Lou. He also provided the film that I wasted half of. So really, sincerely, thanks, Lou. But go give his video a look. Check out that camera. Despite it being cheaper and feeling cheaper, I think that it might be the better buy if you have to buy one of the two. But again, go to a thrift store, buy something else. Also, in the coming months, I'm going to be opening up a small shop of cheap point-and-shoot film cameras that I found at thrift stores and at the end of last year. And I'm going to be selling them online. Then they'll have a little guarantee that they work, and they'll come with a roll of film, and they'll be inexpensive. So if you're interested in something like that, the shop is not up yet, but there's a link down below where you can send me your email so that when I do open the shop, I'll make sure to send you out a notice, an email that says, hey, the shop's open, come and take a look. It's going to happen in the near future, as well as more videos like this. I've got a few awesome rolls of film, new rolls of film, old rolls of film in my fridge that I'm excited to shoot and share with you guys. And on my shelf back here, I've got some interesting cameras that I'm gearing up to make videos about as well. So we're going to do a lot here on this channel in regards to film, but we're also going to continue doing the travel stuff, the New York stuff. I shot a music video recently here in New York City that I am super proud of, and I'm going to make a video walking you through how I edited that whole thing. So if you're not subscribed, obviously you should subscribe. Click the link below and turn on that bell so you get notifications when I randomly upload a video, which I've been doing. I really appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you subscribing and commenting down below. And as always, don't forget to create and explore. See you in the next one. Bye.